Hello, everyone. Maneko64. Good evening, everyone. It's Sunday, May 17th, 2020. The title of the live stream is Gold's Performance in the 2020 Crisis. And the reason for that title is that you read and you listen to a lot of people who are disappointed with gold's performance. They say, oh, gold hasn't done that well in this crisis. But I'm going to come to how gold is done in the major fiat currencies, how gold is done in relationship to the stock market as well around the world. A lot of you here already, 106. Thank you for showing up. So we've got Aaron Levy. Hi, Aaron. Billy had a haircut today. Finally, we got someone that could do him today. We had to pay a little extra, not that much, for the lady to do him on a Sunday. Yeah, it's been a beautiful day here as well. Billy, nice to see you here. Billy Garrett. I played golf this morning. We were only being allowed to play in twos, a two ball. So we teed off at 8:20 in the morning, and I was finished by 11 o'clock. So less than 3 hours for 18 holes. That was great. SW is here. Hi, SW. Sac Media. Hi, Sac Media. Analog Beats. It's not his usual groomer. He'll go back to the usual groomer in a couple of months. He needed a cut. Hi, Jillian B. Mr. B. Hello, Mr. B. Ricky Jarecki from Edinburgh. The Watcher. Hi, The Watcher. Bullion Vault. I have an account with them. I opened an account with them years ago. I don't have anything in there significant, very little. I think they're okay. I'm not sure if they do deliver. If you like to take your gold out, I don't think they do that. Someone has noted before that the Rothschilds have some kind of participation in that company that might not be to your liking. JJ Quinn. Hi, JJ Quinn. Sac Media adding to your gold, the physical gold. Not at the moment. I did buy some silver when silver dropped that day in March. Gold, I have a little bit on in my Glint account that I've added onto. Physical at the moment, I could add on to it. Have to see how my fiat balance is at the end of the month. But I have to say, here in the UK, the premiums have gone back up. For example, they're about 15% for the small sovereign coin. And for the 1 ounce Britannias, they're about 6%. So premiums are still quite high. There still seems to be a lot of demand. Hi, Graham Hobbs. Nice to see you here. I'm doing well, BID. Thank you. Paul Wetham. Is that how you pronounce it? Wetham from Australia. The other thing I'd like to do today, if people want to know how to get gold or buy gold coins or silver, feel free to ask. I noticed someone asked a question, because my wife, a lot of times, she goes through all the comments and questions. She said someone from us, I think an English person, an expat living in Australia but coming back here, he was wondering whether he could buy gold from gold investments. Well, he could if he still has the account here in a bank account here in the UK, or even if he's got a bank account in Australia, he could send the money over to gold investments. They could actually hold the gold for him physically, and when he comes back to the UK, he could go and pick it up. they could ship it to Australia, but I think the best thing would be to store it with them, and when he comes back to the country, to the UK, he can go and pick it up. I'm not sure if that person's here on the live stream. Graham Divine. No, I think the miners are starting to do quite well. I think they will do even better if gold and silver do what I think they're gonna do. I did a video this morning. Well, not this. Yeah, just after in the afternoon today. Usually, don't do a video on Sunday. I do the live stream, but I had to show people that gold looks pretty good technically, and it could move up very quickly. I think the miners are going to do well as well. Grow Mechanic, have you considered Rick Rule? I haven't thought about having Rick Rule on. I could. I like doing interviews, but it's not really something that I want to make regular. I like having good interviews once in a while, but I'll keep that in mind. How much do Glint charge for delivery? I'm not sure. You have to ask them. I haven't asked for delivery from Glint. Steve, you need to contact them and ask. What are your thoughts on opening a We Buy Gold store? I wouldn't want to open any. I don't know if that's online or if it's a shop, a physical shop. If it's a physical shop, no, thank you. I wouldn't want to open a shop. Sean DLT, thank you for your super chat. What are your thoughts on the fact that platinum has 100 value in multiple countries versus silver and gold being lower value? Face value of the coin and a planned reset from 50 years ago. What are your I'm not really sure what you mean by that, Sean. Platinum has 100. You mean face value, like $100 or £100? Is that what you mean? Yeah, and I'm not sure if there is a reset, that platinum will be part of the monetary system, because platinum, even though it's a precious metals, it's used a lot in industry, so it wouldn't do well as money because the supply is very volatile. The reason why gold is money is because the stock to flow ratio is 64 years. So that means, all 99% of all the gold that's ever been mined still above ground. So if there are big discoveries or a lot of demand for gold, it doesn't really affect the price as much, except in a crisis, of course. Platinum is used a lot in industry, and you can have a lot of shortages of platinum. So yeah, I don't think. Hopefully, that answers your question. I don't think platinum will be part of a reset. Hard Rock says, I think he would be better buying gold in Australia. Probably if the premiums are low in Australia. That's right. Gold leasing? Well, what's that about? Well, that's just people who hold, very wealthy people, or uh, uh, bullion banks or central banks. They will lease their gold, just like people lease shares of stock to other people, and they'll charge them a rate. And those people can take their gold and sell it short. They can go short, and then they have to buy it back and pay back the loan. So right now, the lease rates are actually not attractive, and that's why probably there hasn't been too much shorting of gold, because lease rates is the difference between lending the gold and then taking the proceeds and investing that gold in dollars. So you get the lease rate, but Usually it's positive, the lease rate. It shows that gold is actually more valuable than a fiat. But right now, the lease rate, because uh, gold is in such high demand, the lease rate is negative. So people are not lending the gold. Hopefully that, I mean, Bell and GP has done some good videos on that. I recommend his YouTube channel. I interviewed him a month or so ago. So Bell and GP website, YouTube channel. Robert Hollyoak from Rugby in Warwickshire. Hi, Robert. And I didn't read Daniel Hannon's column in the Sunday Telegraph. I bought the Telegraph yesterday. I didn't buy it today. Yeah, Daniel Hannon, I've read him in the past. So let's go over some of these numbers here. Gold. So yeah, the reason I'm doing this is because I see a lot of people. I saw a guy from Kitco, John Hug or something like that, or Peter Hug, and he was being interviewed by Kitco, and he said that gold's performance hasn't been really great this year. But and I thought that's strange, because from where I'm looking, it's been pretty good. And the stock markets haven't been that great. So, for example, let's go with the Swiss franc. I'm not going to start with the dollar. So, in Swiss francs, and by the way, the Swiss franc in gold, or the price of gold, made a new all-time high on Friday in Swiss francs. That was one of the currencies, along with the yuan and the dollar, that hadn't made an all-time high. So yeah, gold is up 15.3% versus the Swiss franc year to date. And the SMI, which is the major stock market index in Switzerland, is down 10.68%. So gold is, if you sold your stocks at the end of last year and bought gold as a Swiss investor, you'd be 25% better off. So I think that's a pretty good performance. That shows that gold has done what it's supposed to do in a crisis. A lot of people say that during the '08 crisis, gold didn't do well, but the crisis really in '08 started in '07, and actually gold was around 600, and yeah, it dropped from 1,000 to 700 in '08, but it was still up since the beginning of the crisis. So for the U.S., a lot of you, well, a lot of the viewers are in the States. They'd be interested. Gold is up 14.72% year to date. So yeah, we closed last year at 1520. We're now at 1743. I looked at the S&P and the Dow. The S&P is down 11.3. So again, investors, if they had sold their stock or S&P index at the end of last year, they'd be up 26% and bought gold, of course. With the Dow, it's even better because the Dow is down 17% year to date. So what do you guys think the worst performing currency of the major currencies is? Well, I won't keep you in suspense. It's the Kiwi dollar, New Zealand dollar. Gold is up 30% year to date. And even though the Dow Jones New Zealand is only down 4%, that's actually the best performing stock market. But in all, it's someone who sold the Dow Jones New Zealand and bought gold at the end of last year is up 34%. I'll stop for now. I'll come back to some other ones. Hard Rock says the Aussie dollar is up 45.8 in 12 months. Let's see what I've got for the Aussie year to date. Year to date, up 25.6, and the S&P ASX 200 is down almost 20%. So yeah, not good. Egon von Greyerz. Yeah, I like Igor von Greyerz. He also, I think King World News also posts some of his articles. Yeah, Sander 1981. I did a video over a week ago about Trump pulling out of Saudi Arabia, which to me seems like the petrodollar deal is over, because part of that deal to have a petrodollar is that Saudi Arabia would buy treasuries with their proceeds from oil, but the U.S. would protect Saudi Arabia militarily. So now Trump is, saying he's leaving, but you never know with Trump. He will say one thing, and then a few weeks later, he goes back on his words. So it's not certain. We'll have to see. Do you remember a few years ago he said he was going to withdraw troops from Syria? 2 weeks later, he said he didn't. Cupid's stunt. Do you think will happen to the value of numismatic coins as opposed to bullion? Well, it depends on the numismatic coin. Numismatic coins are all different. So I don't know. I mean, it will probably follow bullion, but I'm not sure about the numismatic value of it, because there's so many different coins, numismatic coins. But it will do okay as well, of course. The underlying gold weight will be reflected in its price. Trump is better than Joe Biden. While Joe Biden is not president, Trump is. Premium bonds in this crisis. Well, nothing really, because the government guarantees them. The only thing that will happen is that the currency on which it's denominated in is going to keep losing value, which is the British pound. So nothing will happen to them. But it's like they're becoming more worthless, and more worthless. And I'm not sure if they pay interest, premium bonds. I don't think they do, but no interest either, no interest rate, because they're at zero. Lloyd Morgan, want to buy some silver or gold, perhaps 1 kilo bars of silver and 2 ounces of gold. I have no precious metals at the moment. Would you buy just gold or maybe just silver? I would do both. Yeah, you got to start somewhere. I would do both, or maybe a little less of silver, or it doesn't matter. I would start. I mean, in my video today, and I'm not trying to get people to buy it, but it looks like we could go a lot higher. We are already 400 pounds higher than we were just over 2 years ago per ounce. Dave Humphreys, I guess you could, the Britannia 1 ounce, the premium is relatively low, about 5%. Yeah, it's a little bit buying sovereigns with a 15% premium is high. But I think all it's telling us is that the paper price is just a sham. And that's why I think it's going to go up. And when the prices go up, it's still going to cost you. The premium might come down, but it's still going to cost you what it costs now. So, yeah, it's a tough one, but I would say it won't make much difference if the price does what I think it will. Of course, nothing is certain, but the probability looks like it will. Sean DLT, no, I don't think they're programming anyone for a platinum reset. No. Platinum is not a big part of the system. Central banks don't hold much platinum at all, if any. And as I said earlier, platinum is a precious metals, but it doesn't have the qualities of gold, the huge above ground stocks that make it stable. Zucker tube, Zucker, that's sugar in German, Zucker. I guess Americans would say Zucker tube. Thank you for the super chat. Uh, love your book suggestions. Keep them coming. I just bought one. I'll show it to you guys. I haven't started reading it yet. Um, it's this one here, Bankers and Bolsheviks. It looks quite technical, but it looks interesting. I think I listened to the video. The author did a YouTube interview about this book, and it's basically about how back in the early 1900s, the biggest buyers of sovereign debt were like small investors, and the French public got really involved. They bought a lot of Tsarist bonds that financed Russia before the Bolshevik Revolution. So that's what this book is about. It looks interesting. Bankers and Bolsheviks. Uh, the author's name is Hassan Malik. The surname is this one here. Mary needs to interview Glenn from Financial Turmoil Explained. Yeah, I've seen Glenn. I think he made a video once, and he actually put a clip from my video where Billy was watching. Yeah. Relaxing Woody. I have some US coins here in the UK. The best coins to own anywhere in the world are the coins from your country or coins of the realm. I think even Jim Sinclair said that. So yeah, I recommend you buy uh, coins of the realm, but it's not a problem having US coins. I have some US coins. So coins of the realm are like sovereigns, half sovereigns, or Britannia's. The maple leaf has the queen's head, but it's Canadian. That's better for Canadians. And that's because of the tax situation. They can't charge you capital gains tax on coins of the realm because they're considered money, and they have a denomination on it. So that's why. Full of Hope, thank you for your super chat. If post CV is AI, won't copper be in demand? Uh, do you think there's a lot of copper used, I guess, in the artificial intelligence technology? Maybe. I'm not sure. Sean DLT, silver, of course, is very undervalued, and it has a lot more to go up than gold in relative terms. But I would do both, really. Yeah, both gold and silver. It's up to you, really. But so just another quick look here. So in British pounds, uh, gold is up 25.83% this year. It's at 1439, It started the year at ended 2019 at 1144, and the FTSE is down 23%. So like almost 50% pickup there if you had sold your stocks at the end of last year and bought gold. So just trying to disprove these people who are saying gold is not performing in the crisis. Yeah, not, I like the 90% silver, the US silver. I've got some here. I bought some a few weeks ago, some half dollars. There you go. They look quite new. They're and you can sell them quite easily on eBay or to a dealer as well. Comex, I think so. Comex, yeah, I think so. I listened to an interview Alistair McLeod did with King World News just this week, and it looks like the bullion banks are in trouble. They're having trouble cover all their shorts, and there's very little. The people who are usually long, the specs, the managed money, the hedge funds, they're not long at all. So there's a lot of room for new longs to come into the Comex. So yeah, I think the not Comex in trouble, but more the bullion banks, because don't forget Comex is only an exchange. It's an exchange. But yeah, I don't think they have as much gold as they claim on Comex. And why is that? Well, because Comex is supposed to be a physical market, but it hardly ever is. But it looks like there's some people, some family money, like Alistair McLeod said, some unusual new money that wants to come in and actually get the gold. And they haven't read, or they don't know about the unwritten rule that you don't ask for delivery, right? Triple Fine Frontier. I'm a gold bull. However, buying it now looks like FOMO. Uh, the thing is, I don't look at gold as a trade, and a lot of the viewers here don't either. We look at gold as savings. So whenever we have extra fiat, we buy it. It doesn't matter if it's at 1,000 or 2,000 or 1,500. If you dollar cost average, you'll be all right. I think if you can. Hi Nick S, nice to see you. Uh, June 12, 1776, 100-ounce silver bricks will block all EMF radiation. Cam Ken Samotyuk buy 999 silver and gold coins. Um, I prefer actually the alloyed coins. Uh, yeah, 999 gold coins are, you need to keep them very safe, because if you drop them, they dent very easily. I prefer more the 90% or the 22 karat coins, or the Krugerrands. They're 22 karat coins as well. Sovereigns are 22. The US, a lot of the US gold coins are 90%. I have Buffalo. They're 999. They're very nice, but you need to keep them protected though. FOMO means fear of missing out. What do you think of One Gold? I haven't looked at One Gold. You say it's similar to Glint. Yeah, I haven't looked at One Gold. I mean, I have Glint. I have an account with Gold Money. I think I'll just, but I haven't looked at One Gold. Sorry. Yeah, JM says he sold his silver at for $25. Yeah, probably not to a dealer, but if you can do a private transaction, if you know someone who wants to buy silver and the dealer is saying 26 he wants, you can go to this person and say, I'll sell it to you for 24. So yeah, if you can find someone who's interested, a private individual, but I doubt dealers would buy it from you for $25. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you have a dealer that does. Metallic miner, no, I don't think silver will go 1 to 1 in the last 30 years or so. I think we haven't seen it go below 50. Maybe I think, historically over the centuries, the average seems to be around 15 or 16 to 1. Uh, I doubt it will go to 1. If it, even though, anything's possible these days, that would be nice because I have silver as well. YB Soldier says he's bored. Okay. Gold is becoming rare. That's why the premiums are going up. Have you considered adding more into mining shares? I did buy some mining shares, mining stock a couple of weeks ago. I bought, I can tell you guys what I bought. I bought Tanzanian Royalty, Jim Sinclair's company. Uh, that's the only one I got right now. It's traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange and New York Stock Exchange. Yeah, so I did buy that. Yeah, Jim Sinclair has been working on that company for many many years, and I think they're just going to start going into production. It's taken like 10 years to do the studies, feasibility studies, and yeah, I had owned that stock years ago at a lot higher price, and I decided to buy some after I listened to him on Greg Hunter. Do you always have to pay tax on silver purchases? Well, from if you buy bullion silver in the UK, it's 20% VAT. If you buy like what they call junk silver, like $half or the old British pre 1920 coins, there's no VAT. John Smith, Coin Invest, or Bullion by Post. I haven't used either of those. Bullion by Post, they advertise a lot. I would check to see the premium on either one. I have a promo code Monaco64 with Gold Investments. They were the only dealer that were actually dealing and delivering during the March period when things got crazy in the COMEX. Uh, yeah, they were the only ones delivering, so I think they're quite good. Life is short. Do you think we are 12, 18 months away from a major spike? I assume that's in gold and silver. I actually think we're very close. We're within weeks of a major spike, but I don't think we're anywhere near the all where we are eventually going to go. Excuse me, but I think we're going to see new all time highs in U.S. dollars very soon in gold. Garden Metals. Uh, I think they're Baird as well, aren't they? Baird. I think I used them many years ago. Paul says building by post is taking ages to deliver. Well, yeah, you should try gold. You should try gold investments. They don't take ages to deliver the gold. I think what a lot of dealers do is they sell you the gold and they don't really have it, and they wait until they get it to send it to you. But gold investments, they won't do that. If they don't have the coin, they'll tell you, and if they do, they'll tell you as well, and they deliver it 1 to 2 days later. Bobby just bought. That's not a bad price there, 14.80 for a 1 ounce Britannia on special. Yeah, hopefully they'll deliver it to you soon. Some dealers are just buried with volume or orders. SD Bullion, yeah, they're in the States. I'm talking more about the UK here. Portfolio, well, the excuse me. Uh, well, in terms of paper, the only thing I've got is the Tanzanian royalty. Apart from that, I don't have any paper assets. I've got physical gold and silver, and my house, which is I guess is not liquid, but it's an asset. The unspoken Scott. Should I save silver until I have enough to sell for a gold coin? Um, I think you can buy gold. I wouldn't do that. I would try to have both, and there you can buy 1 gram of gold, or 5 grams or 10 grams. Yeah, I would keep both. I wouldn't sell silver to buy gold. I'd try to exchange fiat for gold. Pablo Pina, what sparked your uh, Tanzanian interest in Tanzanian gold? Royalty. That's Jim Sinclair's. He's the CEO there and chairman. Well, I've been following Jim Sinclair since '02, so I have owned that stock many years ago at a lot higher price than it is now. And no, he's been involved with that for over a decade, and it's been it takes a lot of work to develop a mine, and he yeah, they've been, as I said, trying to do all the research and look at all the to do all the how can I say, no, it's not something that I'm too familiar with, but all the studies of the feasibility studies on the gold there, and it looks like they've just started, and now they're starting to actually mine the gold after years of doing feasibility studies. And the big property there is called Buck Reef, and in the past that region is known to have a lot of gold. So I think it's a good potential. uh, it's speculative, but it could be a good speculation, I think, on the upside. Low blood pressure. I think they're doing okay now. Switzerland, they got fed up, the small businesses, and the government had to reopen most of the country on the 11th of May. So yeah, they're doing well. Uh, Brady Girdings, sell gold and silver when it's a bubble. Well, some people think that this time gold and silver are gonna have they're gonna stay at very high levels, and why? Well, because countries like China, Russia, and the U.S. will have to basically more China. They'll have to fix the price up there because gold. Yeah, we'll have to probably come back in the monetary system. So, but I look at gold more as saving money. I mean, if I needed to exchange some of my gold tomorrow for something, an emergency, I would. But if I didn't have to, I wouldn't. So let's look at some other numbers here. Chinese yuan, yeah, in Chinese yuan, we actually saw gold make an all-time high on Friday at 12,380. And so in Chinese yuan, gold is up 17% this year. The Shanghai Composite is down 6%. So every country this year, gold is doing well, and the stock market is not doing that well. Adrian Gaines, have you tried to get Alistair McLeod? I have. Well, I try to connect to with him on LinkedIn. I sent him a message, and he hasn't come back. So he didn't accept my. Not sure if he hasn't seen it. I don't know what another way of getting a hold of him. Don't have an email for him. I would like to have him on. He's very knowledgeable. Uh, Mexico nationalized its silver mines. Uh, First Majestic. Yeah, I mean it's possible. Mexico would nationalize its mines. Even the U.S. or Canada could do it. Uh, I don't really know much about First Majestic. I've heard a lot about it. Usually, if I want to play silver through the mining stocks, I use Hecla Mining. I know a little bit about that only because I've had that stock in the past. Yes, Johnny, I have done a video about the nationwide house price index. I did it this year, I think, or maybe late last year. I even have let's see here. I still got it, but no, yeah, that's something I have done before. You should go into my YouTube channel and go under videos and search for UK house prices and gold. You find my video there. Graham Porter says the Royal Mint has no gold for sale, no silver, sorry, for sale. That's interesting. Gold in 6 months, above 2,000. Arav Patel, could you please explain the implications of the divergence between gold and silver ratio? Well, all it will mean is that implications between gold and silver ratio at 1 and the physical ownership of gold and silver ratio at 66 to 1. Well, all that means is that at 100 to 1, you need a lot more silver to buy 1 ounce of gold, while at 66 to 1, you need a lot less silver, of course. What that will mean, I think, is that if we get to 66 to 1, that means that it will be a lot harder to get either of those because the price is going to be a lot harder, a lot higher, sorry, because when the gold and silver ratio drop like that, it means that the precious metals are in a massive bull market. So that's what I would say would be a lot harder to get physical if we get to that level. I hope that helps. Andrew Maguire, Kinesis. Well, I don't know Andrew Maguire, so FC Liverpool. I mean, I think I asked him to do an interview a few years ago, and they never came back. I'm not too sure about Kinesis, because they actually lend out the gold because they pay you interest. But I'll have a think. As I said, I do like doing the interviews, but it's not something that I do every week or almost every other day. So I just try to, yeah, we'll see. I'll keep it in mind though. Uh, Ballroom of Mars, cryptocurrencies conquering over precious metals. Well, in terms of value and track record, I think it's hard. But as currencies, as forms of payment, they they could, the dollar and digital dollars and pounds do very well. But the key is stability and value. So nowadays you can, no, you could, uh, you can use gold with a lot of people like Glint or Gold Money to pay with gold. Glint, they're going to come out. I think it's been delayed a little bit, but they're going to allow people to do peer to peer, person to person, peer to peer transfers of gold. So basically, you could pay someone directly with gold, circumventing the banking system. Lunko Bear, at what price would you stop purchasing physical gold? Uh, the thing is, um, I don't think I would ever stop buying gold because unless we went on a gold standard and the system was honest, but as our system is not honest, they're inflating. It's gonna get even worse. I will try to get rid of if I'm fortunate enough to have uh, excess fiat at the end of a certain month. I will try to get gold. It doesn't matter at what price because I think gold and silver are going to become priceless the way things are going. I'm not saying it's going to be tomorrow, but in the next few years, I think there's a big chance we could see Venezuela style gold prices. You should have named Billy Luigi. Yeah. Well, actually, when I worked in the city, one of the firms I worked for, I worked together with another Italian guy, and we did loads of business in Italy in the futures market. And his name was Luigi, so it was Mario and Luigi at GNI. That was one of the biggest futures broker in the UK. I think it was the biggest at the time. Capital gains tax with Glint. I guess you would be because they don't hold sovereigns. So yeah, you need to think about that if you put a lot of money in there and gold goes through the roof. Tricky Dicky, thank you for your super chat. Do you think that Boris will be prime minister in 2021? To be honest, I don't care because it doesn't matter who's prime minister. It doesn't matter what political party is in power. Uh, they're going to keep spending and printing money. So he's just a distraction. Whoever's, I couldn't care less, to be honest, if Boris was prime minister or Mickey Mouse. I'm sorry if I didn't answer maybe in the way that you wanted, but that's the way I feel about politicians. What are your thoughts on Hive? Well, it looks very similar, but I think from what I heard, a lot of the people on Steam, it's they call them witnesses or block producers. They're going to Hive, so I think Steam is on its way out. I'm still posting on Steam, but I'm gonna like get out gradually and focus on Hive. Yeah, Lily Robin. Yeah, Glint is good as well. More for putting a little bit of your paycheck into Glint and leaving it there, and even spending it. Because the way gold went up like over 40 pounds last week. So if you had some money with Glint, you've done quite well. I'm sorry if I haven't answered everyone. Uh, I can't see all the questions. I don't. Billy can't read yet. I could have Billy help me and read the questions, a bit like Megan with Lynette Zhang. Yeah, Arav Patel, I agree with you. In the real world, that ratio is a lot lower. That 102 to 1 that we have right now is just a paper ratio. Don't feed the Fed. That's a good one. Tricky Dicky says petrol at 133 per liter was so high. Yeah, diesel was at the same level, but it hasn't really come back down that much. Buffett could buy silver again. Trolls are here. Are they? What are shambles? I haven't seen them. How high do you think gold will go? It's more like how low, all the fiat currencies will go. They could go to zero, which means they would be, gold would be basically priceless. But I did a video earlier today. I think gold could get to 2000 before the summer is out, 2000 US dollars. We're already making all-time highs in all the other major currencies, and I think it will do so in dollars very soon. After that, it's hard to say. I think people should focus more on having, like Jim Rickard says, you should focus on counting gold in grams and ounces and tons for those who are very wealthy, of course. Or for a country, a sovereign country, the more gold a country has, the better it is. IG Trading trustworthy. I have an account with IG Trading, IG.com. I, none of the brokers are 100% safe because they're part of the financial system. They bank with a big bank. If a big bank goes under, their money is with them. So nothing is safe. All I would say is, if you're going to use them, try to not put too much money in there. And if you make a big profit, take the profit out and send it back to your account. Maybe you got buy some gold and silver with the profits. Yeah, Derek Barwise. I've heard that story many times. That they Gordon Brown pre-announced the sale of the UK's gold in 1999 to help bullion banks and in particular Goldman Sachs because they had a huge short position and they got short squeezed. And I think the bullion banks are even more trouble today. Is it possible that one of the major countries would come out now and announce gold sales to help these bullion banks? I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that would be politically well seen because Gordon Brown already did it. So people would say, no, don't do it. It would be a good sign, though. It would be because when Gordon Brown did it, that was the low at the time. Spot rate. I think the spot price or the paper price is gonna go up to meet the real price. Arav Patel. Just before I finish, we're just another few minutes here. Let's have a look at the euro. The price of gold in euros is up 19% year to date, and the Euro Stocks 50 is down 26%. What else? Canada gold is up 24.76. The S&P TSX is down 14%. So you get the idea. Gold has performed well. How much cash? I would only hold enough cash to pay my monthly bills, nothing else. It's very dangerous, I think, to hold cash now because they're creating so much of it, and they're not going to stop. I just saw that because last week there was talk that there was going to be austerity in the UK. They wanted to be fiscally responsible, but over the weekend it's all gone out the window. Boris Johnson is saying that they're not going to impose austerity and they're going to do whatever it takes, and that means printing money, borrowing. Mm. Thank you, Metallic Miner. I think it's very dangerous to have any wealth in cash or paper money. I don't want my wealth to be diluted. Stocks, I have a little bit of mining stocks, but I'd rather invest in myself and my family if they have a business idea than invest in a big corporation listed on the stock market. I think it's a bit of a sham, owning stocks. It's more of a rich person's game. I don't think the general public should be encouraged to invest in the stock market like they have been. That's the way I feel. Peter Richard, thank you for the super chat, and you're welcome. Royal Mint Vault safe? Question mark. No. And why do I say that? Well, because it's a government institution, and personally, I don't trust government. They could say, "Oh, we're going to nationalize all the safes at the Royal Mint," which basically means they'll take your gold and silver and they'll give you the paper for it. They could do that. All right. Thank you, everyone, for showing up for the live stream, and I'll talk to you on the live stream next Sunday. In the meantime, let's see what happens in the markets. Take care. Bye.